Whether you're a Class 5 rafter or just looking for a couple of laughs, these two have you covered. Welcome to Aaron and Zach's Better Than Mediocre Rafting Show.
Well, happy Friday and welcome to Aaron and Zach's Mediocre Rafting Show. This is a show where Aaron and I talk about rafting in a very mediocre way. We do our best, though. We definitely do our best, but we're pretty mediocre at it, as agreed on by most of our listeners.
We do our best. We do our best to be. We strive for mediocrity.
No, we strive for excellence. We just end up with mediocrity.
Hey, I'm going to say you look way better, and I can hear you way better than the last couple of weeks. So good, nice improvement. I'm glad to see your technology is all working properly today. I'm in my studio now.
Dude, I was on a laptop.
Even see it's all working properly today. I feel like most days we've got some hiccups here or there.
There's still a chance for it to mess up.
Okay, go ahead.
I
don't know if this is just me, but when you do that intro, I catch only bits of the intro, and I don't hear any of the music anymore. When we first used to do it, I used to hear it fine, but then when you were in Bhutan, I could hear all of it. The whole intro would come in perfectly. It was really weird. Now it's back to not working right.
Wait, you can't hear the intro now?
No, I can't hear it. It just has a couple. It sits on the one for a long time. Then sits
Aaron,
on
this
another
is fascinating. I bet our followers love hearing.
Well, I'm kind of curious if our viewers have the same problem with the intro.
They don't.
The only one who has the problem.
They don't. It's just you. It's your internet.
Maybe, but then once you come on, I can hear you fine.
All right, can we move on because we have a big show to do today?
I'm sure we got a big show and a lot to cover.
We don't need to deal with your stuff. For those of you listening to this on River Talk Podcast, you should not listen to this on River Talk Podcast. You should turn it off and watch us on YouTube because this is a video review show. But if you're listening to it, hey, we're going to do our best to make a show that's interesting, but you really should watch this and not listen to it. What we've done is strip the audio from the video and then put it on the podcast. That's why you're listening to it there. We also have members. Thank you, all of you that are members of the show. Really appreciate you guys for being members. It's a big deal. And with that, I want to get started. I have a few things. First of all, I got these. Have you seen these?
Make yourself bigger, Zach. I can't see you.
Okay. Black Fox Rescue sent us these, Aaron.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. It's like a sticker. It doesn't come in very well. That shows you how to tie a knot. So there's one for the bowline.
I can't see anything.
It's because your technology sucks.
No, it's not. Bring it up closer to the screen. Bring it closer.
There we go.
Yeah.
It's not going to focus, though. Oh, whoa, there we go.
Wow. Oh, yeah.
Isn't that cool? The butterfly knot and then the 3-to-1 raise. They sent us these stickers and a super nice card. And so, I don't know. I'm not going to say, I mean, we're technically sponsored by them now. NRS hasn't sent us anything, and Black Fox Rescue sent us some stickers. So, I want to thank Black Fox Rescue for sponsoring our show with this really nice note and a card. Look, they have this really cool, their own little stationery.
Oh, wow. Black Fox. Never heard of them.
Do you have now?
Where are they based?
I don't know. Google it. I think they're in Jackson Hole, Wyoming or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
You'll have to look it up. But anyway, super nice. They like the show. Sent us some stickers. And I just want to point out that NRS, who we regularly loud, you know what the word loud means? L-A-U-D.
No. Okay. Yeah. Ooh.
Are you Googling stuff?
Yeah, I pulled up Black Fox Rescue. Man, they got a nice website. It looks pretty good. Oh, yeah. You're right. They're based in Jackson.
We are so mediocre. But I was saying, do you know what the word? Do you know the word loud? L-A-U-D.
L-O-U-D is loud.
No, L-A-U-D, loud. It's like celebrate, I think. We celebrate NRS quite a bit on the show. They haven't sent us any stickers.
No, they haven't sent us anything.
No, but Black Fox Rescue has. So we want to thank them and give them some time on our show. And hopefully you all go to their website and buy stickers from them and everything else they sell. And I get that. I want to remind you about our contest, Aaron, to win $1,000 immersion research gift certificate.
Zach, next time make the check bigger, please.
And so for those of you that don't know, this is a contest we're doing. We've already selected 3 finalists in the throw bag competition, and now we're doing a 3-to-1 competition. And in the spirit of the contest, Aaron, I just went out in my yard and I did a practice 3-to-1 setup.
Okay, great.
For us to watch.
Oh, super.
There it
Was
is.
this
Check
your
it out.
was this your first try? How many takes did
This-
it take for you to do it right?
This is my first try. I was in a rush. This is my first try. So I'm going to watch it, and then you can judge it. Turn
Whose
the audio
boat is
down.
that?
It's Connor's. So remember, we're judging on quality of gear, artistic ability,
It's
completion.
taking a long time to undo this thing.
Hey,
Is it?
I do it pretty fast. I think I did it in like 3.5 minutes.
Well, I wouldn't do that first. That's interesting. You did that first.
Did what first?
I wouldn't tie the butterfly until I put it through, so I had an idea of how long I needed to.
Well, I was living life on the edge. So for those of you that don't know this technique, instead of using webbing on the boat to do a self-equalizing anchor, I'm using the end of a throw bag with a butterfly knot and a figure 8. And this is just another accepted technique. It's a little quicker.
I don't know.
I mean,
It's hard to see if your angle is good.
My angle's
there.
good.
Oh,
It's
there,
good.
good. It's a little better. It's pretty tight. I'd want it a little longer. You're pushing it there, Zach.
I was doing it, I wished it was a little bit bigger too, but it's adequate.
And that's why you don't tie the knot first. You don't tie the
I thought I knew the distance.
The butterfly knot until after you pull it.
Yeah, but it's hard to do because of holding the rope. You want one hand just to do the butterfly knot. You don't want to just be like holding the rope. So I have a good judge of where it needs to be.
Zach, you don't look. The other thing I'm gonna say is you don't look rushed and stressed enough. You should look more stressed and rushed.
I mean, I'm trying to
you were
be
really
not
pretty
stressed.
calm. I didn't take a note when we started this. How long is it taking you?
Right now we're at 1:45.
And you have 2 minutes?
Yeah, 5 minutes.
Ooh, are you tying a knot there too?
It's a prusik.
Oh, that's the prusik. Okay.
I'm doing the prusik. I'm doing the progress capture first, just to get out of the way. Add some little Caribbean. No, I realized if you practice this, you get really fast at it. But I hadn't practiced one in a while, so I made a bunch of little tiny mistakes that I had to right there to fix something. It's kind of fun. I think tying these prusiks on can really mess you up too, because right here I got the sewn loop with a prusik, right to do the carabiner. So I had to rework it a little bit. I wasted like 15 seconds.
That's such a rookie mistake.
It is a rookie move, but when you're on camera, and I know I'm going to show it to you later, I'm a little stressed. I'm trying to not look stressed, but you don't want to mess up. And I cleared myself. I'm not going to do a second redo. I'm going to show the first one.
Which way is downstream? Are you on the downstream side of the rope right now, or are you on the upstream side?
There's no downstream here. And it works. Boom. That was 3 minutes, 23 seconds. So I'm going to have you just for the sake of the show and for our watchers who are interested in entering the show, I'm going to have you judge this one. So first of all, out of 10 points, what's the artistic quality of the video?
5.
Wow, that was nice of you. Okay, out of 10 points, professional dress of the rescuers.
0.
Okay, it's acceptable. Okay, timing quicker than 10 minutes. This is worth 5 points. Just basically for my
10 minutes. 10 minutes.
5 minutes. Timing quicker than 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Are you?
Yeah, basically, was it fast?
I think you could be faster.
Okay, so out of 10 points, how many would you give me for that?
5.
Okay, so I have 5 points.
I think you're, like our show, mediocre.
Okay, whatever. I did. I did this in a rush. So I mean,
it looks like you hadn't practiced in a bit, and I would do 5 just because I give some space. You're the first one to go.
That was pretty fast. 3 minutes, 23 seconds, but whatever. Use of high quality gear. 10 points.
Hmm. I would give you an 8 just to give a little space in case. But
In case somebody has higher quality gear, they don't, because I got the best. But whatever.
Well, and I'd say the gear you're wearing, your protective gear is not high quality, so your PPE lacks in protective. That's the other thing I'd say to drop it down to an 8.
Okay. Quality of the anchors out of 30 points.
I would rather see a 3-point on the raft instead of a 2-point.
Okay.
How much is it?
30 points total for quality of anchors. So like,
and then I would also take off for how's the angle.
The angle's whatever.
It's too close.
It's not too close. Those D rings are really close, so it's fine.
If you made it longer, the forces on each D ring would be less.
Barely. The angle is like
significantly less.
The angle is like 40 degrees max.
Yeah.
Max.
What is it? So we have to do some math here.
The rule you're going for. You want like less than 90. That's like 40 degrees max. But whatever, I'm not gonna argue with you. Just give me how many points.
All right, and then I don't like tying. I wouldn't tie your anchor around the tree, because then once that thing gets loaded, it's gonna be a pain to undo. So you have to cut it, then you have to
it's not tied. That thing has sewn loops.
The red one has sewn loops.
Yeah, it's 2 sewn loops at the ends to a carabiner. See me put it on. Let's go back to that.
It looked like you tied something. Yeah, I didn't see that closely. Well, you didn't make it clear enough that you weren't doing that, so points off.
See, look, I just put it around.
Here's the other thing I'm going to say too. Is
I just put it around. Oh, I mean,
I have no idea if your knots are correct. I can't even see.
Well, Aaron, you can't know. Aaron, it's a video. This is a video contest.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The quality of your video really leaves something to desire, because you can't see if you did the knots properly. I can't even see if the angle is correct on the raft. How do I know these things? I just have to take your word because it's so far away. You can
tell. You can tell.
Yeah,
okay. How many points do I get from my anchors?
20.
Okay. And then last thing is completion of the rope work assessment out of 40 points. How well did I complete the assessment?
I think it's incomplete.
What do you mean it's incomplete?
I can't see the knots. I can't see your carabiners are locked.
Aaron, you're not going to be able to see. They're all like automatic lockers. So
you could have gone around and showed it to me afterwards.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, you could have gotten creative with it. You could have had a head cam and this one, and then you could have gone back and forth. So I could see.
So if I really wanted to get max points, I would have had.
If you want max points, you got. I mean, I'm just saying, there's a lot of room for improvement over this. This isn't bad, but I'm gonna say mediocre.
Okay. So out of 40 points, how much do I get for completion of the assessment?
28. I just 28.
28. Okay. So my total score is 66 out of 100.
Sounds good to me.
That's a solid D.
You're passing. You don't have to take the class again.
Okay.
So people degrees.
Okay. But my idea here was just to show an example of what we're looking for and go through the scoring so everybody knows what's going on. Did you know we already got an entry? Did that go to you, Aaron?
No, I don't think I saw it.
Okay. We got an entry. It is amazing. I just watched the first 25 seconds and I realized I should wait till we do the things. But awesome. This one I can already tell you is going to be amazing.
I mean, if this is the standard of excellence, Zach, I think most things are going to be amazing.
This is not the standard of excellence. This is me going in my yard and just quickly doing one as an example. I could do better if I had more than 15 minutes to do the whole thing.
Dude, you had a whole plane ride back to think about it. You had 15 hours on a plane to come up with.
Yeah, you can't, but I can't practice. I got back to my house and I had to get the raft ready. I had to find all the gear. And I had to get between that and getting it from my phone to the computer. This is a solid 15 minutes.
So if we have our own raft Olympics, we could have a raft Olympics, and then you'd have one-on-ones with doing different stuff. And one of them would be how quickly can you set up a Z drag, and then for the every time you go to compete again, it's one of those you head to head. each time you show up, there's going to be different equipment you got to do with different equipment.
That makes it hard, actually, because I got to tell you, because I hadn't used this equipment in a while, the way the beaners lock is hard, and the way that the prusiks attach the rope is weird. Like, definitely the different gear would change.
Would that be fun? Just to have different levels, and you don't know what your carabiners are going to look like, what type of rope you're going to have. That would be like that would be a really fun, like, rafting Olympics.
Yeah. Actually, part of the reason motivating me to do this one tonight was I'm going to a trade show next week, and there is a Raft Guide Olympics, and I want to dominate at the Raft Guide Olympics. So I've been practicing my throw bag toss and practicing this stuff. I practiced this tonight just to, like, do a practice run.
I'm going to say you didn't do that well in our throw bag competition.
What are you talking about? You mean in the IRF course?
Yeah.
I did, Aaron. It took me 3 tries.
No, I mean the one that Santi led that we won an award actually when the pressure was really on. Wasn't just try till you get it.
Whatever. I mean, throwback competitions, throwing throwbacks is hard. I've been practicing. Anyway, let's the tuxedo, no tuxedo. Again, this is just me quickly doing it on a Friday evening. Why not use a progress capture pulley? Do you mean a what's that thing called? Micro traction, I think is what he's talking about. Do you think that's what it is?
Don't those tear up the ropes a little bit?
They're actually not. I don't think that's a great solution for this. The problem with the progress capture pulley is once you've captured progress and it'll put a lot of tension on it in a river environment, it's a little hard to let that tension go because it captures it so well. So if you need to release, you have to pull really hard and have somebody there to push a button and let it go. And also, if you Google like micro traction rope failure or go to YouTube, you'll see some, maybe I can find it here. You'll see some video of them just tearing ropes up. And so I don't like to use equipment that, well, I have 2 issues with micro traction. One is that I don't like to use gear that's not really intended for rescue or because we don't understand it completely. That's designed for climbing. And 2, I don't like gear that not everybody's trained in. And so because it's not like a normal piece of equipment that people learn about in rescue classes, I feel like it could create some confusion. And if you just pulled this thing out with a normal like group of guides and you're the only one that knows how to use it, it's going to create confusion. And I like simple things everybody knows how to use. That's my quick answer. Do you have anything to add to that, Aaron?
I think that was perfect.
Yeah, I know.
Exactly, Heidi.
Yeah, that wasn't my attempt to win the thing. It was just my attempt to do a practice round quickly. I mean, I could have put a PFD and a helmet on and a dry suit.
There wasn't a lot of love put into it, Zach. You could tell. It was like, fine.
Hey, did you do one, Aaron? I tried. I gave it my best on a Friday evening. Where's yours? Where's your love, Aaron?
Really? Was that your best? Was that really your best?
My best to do quickly. Yeah, I could have spent hours doing it.
Best to do quickly.
I think I did pretty well out there. I think I gave it my all. Jeez. All right, let's move on. Okay, so you asked me the other day about going over some Bhutan video. Before we get to some other YouTube videos we want to watch, I thought I would share a little bit of video, and then you can critique my guiding.
And forward.
So this is a paddle.
This is in Bhutan.
This is in Bhutan. This is a paddle boat with 2 people.
What kind of raft is that? Is that a Saturn raft?
It's a Chinese made. No, it's called Aqua. I think it's made in China.
So forward paddle.
It's PVC. It's not that great, but it works for this guy.
You're making a paddle a long time there.
What? They're not paddling now.
Forward.
That's better. That's better.
Forward.
Of course, it's better.
Left turn. Left side back. Right side forward. Left forward. Forward. Forward.
Wow, you haven't really trained your crew much, have you?
I did train them quite a bit. Yeah. Let's leave it at that.
Forward.
There's Michael on the left.
Stop.
All right, this is a different rapid.
Are you wearing shorts?
Yeah.
There's a guy in the front right wearing a wetsuit.
Forward paddle.
It's a woman. I think she is. Yeah, it's pretty warm. It's like
So left side back, right side forward. Stop.
It's fine. It's both will work. It's not, the water's a little chilly, but it's like 80 degrees out.
Zach, did you only have 2 people go with you because everyone wanted to go with the other guides?
No, this is, so we ran 2 Bhutan trips. One was a 2-person trip, and one was a 15-person trip. And so I did 2 days with a 2-person trip. And that led my kayak this day.
Left turn, so left side back, right side
Oh,
forward.
wow.
Stop. Back paddle. Back paddle.
It can be tough to lead small
Forward
trips.
paddle. Forward paddle.
It can be tough to lead big trips too.
Yeah. But I think people always assume the big trips are tough, but the small trips have their own challenges.
Yeah, because I think when the small trips, the 2 people are very empowered.
Right turn, so right
Yeah,
turn.
yeah.
Get a lot of attention.
They're very empowered, and it's just like you're on a lot more socially.
Forward paddle.
Yeah, so like Michael's girlfriend Beth came too. So there was 4 of them total on the trip.
Forward paddle.
That's cool.
This is a rapid called wall. We call it wall banger because there's a wall
hard
banger.
forward, hard forward, hard forward, forward. Forward, 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 forward. Right turn, forward. Forward.
The paddler on the front right paddles like you do, Aaron, sitting at the bottom of the boat,
Yeah, yeah.
and lily dipping just like you.
But I'm gonna say this, Zach. You do, yeah. That's bad. That's bad guiding. There's bad teaching, instruction on your part. My paddlers don't do that. I do that, but my paddlers know better.
You know, I thought about this a little bit on the trip. So, like if I'm running hard rivers, I will hammer them
Oh yeah.
on their paddling.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But when it's like class 3 plus, how much do you really want to hammer them? Like at some
no,
point,
you don't. No.
they're paddling good enough to get us down the river. Do I need to stop them and say, hey guys, you really need to paddle harder, paddle together, do this, do that, sit here? At some point, like you give the instruction, and as long as you're getting down the river and you're not like, you know, I can't blame. If I make a mistake, I can't blame the paddlers though.
I'm gonna say there's a couple of things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't blame the paddlers if you make a mistake. If a mistake happens, and also at the end of the day, when you're hanging with the other guides, don't complain about your paddlers. Then.
Yeah, because I could have trained them better and made them do better.
Exactly. No, I know. I agree. That's one of the things I like about harder rivers is there's a need to actually paddle right, and you can say, hey, we need to do it like this, and it's true. Versus on certain shorelines, you're like, yeah, it doesn't really matter.
Is it worth me like having the stern talk with them and saying, hey, we need to step this up?
I don't think you have to have stern talk though, Zach. I think you can be nice about it to say, hey guys, check this out. When you're not paddling together, it's just really inefficient. And so you guys just have to do a lot more strokes and you have to work a lot harder to get stuff done. And so if you make sure to paddle together, it's going to be easier for you. So try to work on, make sure you paddle, enter together, exit together. Yeah. Like I think saying things like that is good. It's like, it's a long day of paddling. And I want you guys to be fresh for the day and feel good all day and be able to paddle all day.
Yeah.
So, and then you don't have to be Mr. Negative, like old school coach, like you're not good enough. That was crap. You don't have to do that. You can be nice and positive about it. It's like, hey, this will be a little easier. You'll be a little more efficient.
Yeah. And if you do that and they're still not paddling well, like there's a point to where you're like, I'll just accept it. It's good enough. It's going to get us down the river.
I mean, yeah, but I think most of the time you can continue. I don't know. I think you in general, you just have to have the right expectations up front.
As I was on the river that day, I was like, man, do I really want to? We're doing fine. Like, and they paddle well a lot of the time, but sometimes the paddling wasn't great. Okay, so this is a different rapid. This is a different group. This is on a multi-day trip, and this rapid, I was telling you beforehand.
This is a multi-day rafting trip where you camped along the side of the river.
Yeah.
Oh wow! I didn't know you do that there. I thought it was all like
it's the first time we've done a multi-day there. That's why I went all the way to the east because that's where there's this river, the Drongmechu, to do a multi-day. On. But this rapid change, there's a massive landslide since they did it last, and the main route down the center was full of some big holes, and so we took this like far left channel.
Right turn.
It was super technical.
Right turn. Yeah. Left turn. Stop. Forward paddle.
So this is just me warming them up.
Are you running into another one of those Chinese rafts this time, or that looks like an NRS?
This is an NRS. This is an NRS 16, I think. And if you can tell, I have dry bags in the back.
Yeah. Okay.
So behind me, I have a bunch of gear. I'm sort of mounted like pretty close to, fairly close to the center. And then I have 2 thwarts in front with 3 paddlers. Other thing I want to point out here is that I had.
Oh,
What was
I
that?
don't know about that. I don't know about that. Go ahead.
About what?
Go ahead.
I'm
Let's-
using on the oars. They had spinnies with oar rights, but I wasn't really in the mood to use oar rights, so I turned the oars. I pulled them a little closer and turned them upside down.
Yeah.
So the oar rights against the thingy. So it wasn't a trip I really wanted oar rights for, but I didn't feel like taking them off. So wait, what were you gonna make fun of? Let's go back. I find out. So what don't you like?
I'm trying to remember now.
Me hitting a rock in there somewhere?
Oh yeah, yeah. This right here, your right oar. Yeah.
My right oar's fine.
Yeah. And then you're gonna slam into this,
which is fine. Look, it spun me so I could do this ferry. That was as planned, Aaron. I had my angle to do this ferry right here.
What type of volume is the river?
Like 10,000 probably.
Oh, is it really that high?
So like this whole right side, I don't know if you see the right side, is there's mackin' holes in there. Mackin' holes. This is just like a creaky left run. Like the right side there would be almost a definite flip because you can see how it landslided. That's all a new landslide. And so there's all kinds of new rocks in there, and the river's super narrow. And so it was when we first scouted it, I was like, oh no, this is not good. And then I saw this little cheat line on the left. Do you see if you look up that whole valley just flooded out? And so the last time I had never done this river, but the other guides had, so they were like, yeah, this is all new. This is unexpected.
This is low water season then?
This is it gets lower in the winter. And we're really close to India here. The elevation's like 1,000 feet. And so normally in Bhutan, we're like 7,000 feet. So we're in like the south, low elevation. And so you can run this all winter. It's warm enough to run this all winter. So it gets lower for sure. And the flows were higher than normal this year.
What's that?
Just more rain, bigger monsoons.
No, they get a lot of monsoons in Bhutan.
They get all summer. It's like Nepal and India. They get monsoons from like June to October. So these rivers are just macking in the summertime.
It's that low there. It's still so far from the ocean, though, huh?
Yeah, it has to go through India. It has to meet the Brahmaputra and then go through India. This is just a tributary of much bigger rivers. All right. Any more critiquing? You good, Aaron?
Lots of pulling upstream because you got big muscles.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's fine. There's spinnies, Aaron. What am I supposed to ship it right there?
Yeah.
No, I need to use it.
Have some pride.
Oh my God. Seriously? Let me just see what you're even talking about. Well, I'm pulling because I want to catch this eddy. I want to catch Eddie so we can watch the next boat come down. And then you're saying ship there. No, then I can use the oars to push off the rocks if I need to. This is a really tight eddy. It was a small eddy. All right, let's get to some of these comments real quick. Hey, you two, would confirmation of receipt for videos make directly possible? I don't know. Are you going to do that, Aaron?
Well, if they send them to me, I'll say thanks for the video. But if they send them to you, I'm not confirming anything.
Okay, send them to Aaron. Aaron will confirm. Thanks, Aaron. What's the national sport of Bhutan is archery.
Really?
Yeah. It's I forget what it's like 179 feet. Wait, no, is that right? it's some insane distance. When you see an archery range, it's just like, that is ridiculous. What is your thought process when deciding on type of boat for a trip like this? Paddle boat versus oar paddle versus stern mount oar boat. Is it more river or group dependent? We had
Yes. Yes.
I'll tell you what we had, then you can answer your question. We had an oar boat, a straight paddle boat, and the oar paddle combo. And so in this case, we had the gear boat couldn't take everything. So I took an oar paddle combo so I could have some gear and paddlers. If we had a second gear boat, we probably would have done 2 paddle boats. Or like if we had all the paddlers were great on this trip, but if we had somebody who like we were worried about their physical fitness or ability to paddle or an injury, I might run an oar paddle assist so we didn't depend on them to paddle so much. So like the oar paddle combo a lot of times is just to like take people who have some sort of reason they can't paddle hard. Go ahead and answer now, Aaron.
So yeah, I'd say both. It's very river and group dependent. I think the more challenging the river in general, the more likely you to use oars on it. And then like an oar paddle assist type of style, the harder it gets, the more likely you to do that. And then the group of people you have, like if you're running a class 3 run, but the people are bad paddlers, they're young, they're older, they're not athletic, they're they're going to all be hungover, whatever the case may be. Yeah, it's much more desirable to have that oar paddle combo or the stern mount. I would say in terms of least control to most control, in most cases, I'd say paddle boat is the least, then the stern mount, then the oar paddle combo is by far the best. Some places I'd rather take a paddle boat than a stern mount though, because I feel like the stern mount, you're just out there and it's easier to fall out and to swim. So sometimes I feel more secure in the paddle boat than the stern mounts, depending on what I'm doing. But that's me. What about you, Zach?
I think I'm always more secure in the stern mount.
In a stern mount?
I mean, a paddle assist. Like the stern mount, I'd rather, like on the stern, what do you mean by I'm sitting on the very
very back of the stern.
I'd rather paddle boat than that because I can get tossed and I'm not super happy. I'd rather be like where this boat is, like more of a 2/3 forward kind of thing.
I think it just depends on if you've got a really nice stiff like Sotar, sitting on the stern's not as quite as bad. If you have the right stern frame, it's not as bad, but there's a large variation in stern frames.
You get
the type of
whiplash sometimes.
And the type of drops you're running. If it's smooth, big waves, the stern mount's going to be better. But yeah, sometimes I'd rather have a paddle boat than for my own personal safety.
I mean, on this trip, we had porters hike the gear in, I think it was like about a mile. And so everything we brought was extra. So we try to, it's a lot of gear to have people carry in for you. So
porters bring your gear in for you. Wow.
Yeah. Well, it's like where the road ends, it's still like a 45-minute hike down to the river. There's no road to the put in. So
did you see, was there stuff along the river?
What do you mean stuff?
Like human development.
Yeah. There was like, we camped by a couple of villages. You'll see in the next video we're camped by.
Could you drive to those villages? Could you only hike to them?
Yeah, no. I mean, where we are is so remote. The fact that we could drive to where we went is a miracle. The road they built there I can't believe they built the road to where I even went to. But there's a few villages along the way. There's a bridge that crosses, we'll see in the next rapid. But that road, I don't think I want to drive that road. And you'd miss out on this section before that road comes in. I don't know if that makes sense or not. There's other ways to access this river, but if you want to access it and see some of the best rapids, you put in where we put in.
What's upstream?
Class 5. It's been done commercially, but I've talked to a few people who've done it, and they had problems.
Multi-day or a single day?
Multi-day, yeah. I mean, there's a multi-day trip there where you can drive to the put in, and so right above where we're at, it's like, I think it's like 2 days of like a bunch of class 4 and some class 5, but it's pretty messed up. Like I wouldn't do it. I would like to guide it for somebody else. So if some other company ran a trip, I'm there, but I do not want to take on that responsibility. Like I don't want to bring guests in to do a river in the middle of nowhere, Bhutan with class 5 rapids. I'm not going to take on that risk, but I'd love to see it and guide it for somebody else. Oars ran a trip there.
Hmm.
And then B.O.B. ran the first trip. Where's your slam board? My slam board's at home. There's no slam boards in Bhutan. So this is just an NRS frame. It's sweet because you can take it apart. I mean, in Bhutan, everything goes in trucks. And so every time you use these frames, they get taken apart. And so you don't, a slam board is just, it doesn't fit for what they're doing there. We have gear over there. Yeah. I brought a bunch of gear. I brought 9, between Michael and I, we brought 9 bags of gear over. But it was like paddles and PFDs and.
So how gross is the water here?
It's not gross at all.
Okay.
No, it's really clean. This river actually starts in India, and up in the high Himalayas of India.
So there's got to be. I mean, if there's gotta be people living above it and pooping in it and whatnot, and you're swimming.
Yeah, but there might be some of that. But still, this is like 10,000 or more CFS. There's just so much dilution for that. It's pretty clean. I thought it was pretty clean. Are we on a new rapid? Oh yeah, this is the next rapid. So this one there's another river that meets at the Kurichu. And so this is where the Drongmechu and the Kurichu meet. And so it goes from 10,000 CFS to 20 below here. Probably, I'm just guessing. It's hard to guess flows, but you can see it's pretty decent water. And there's a bridge. You see the bridge down there, Aaron? Mm-hmm. There's a bridge. So you could drive to here, but the roads are insane. Like they're super narrow, dirt roads, cliffed out. Like I don't think I'd want to drive to this place.
How far down in the stretch is this? How long you been on the water now?
8. This is day 1. This is we've gone like 8. I think this is mile 8. So you could drive to there, but I don't know, man. You miss out on, this first day. And like I said, the roads are, I didn't drive them, but I've driven some gnarly roads over there. And the guys were like, yeah, this road, you don't want to drive this road.
Mm-hmm. Well, how hard would you say this rapid is? Class 3?
No, it's a class 4. I'd say this is definitely the hardest rapid on the run. Except that last one that had the recent landslide. So the main line people have done before, see that big rock?
Yeah.
They've gone, the main channel's over there, and they do a big downstream ferry. But I've found some video online of somebody flipping off that rock. And there's this nice little, I love cheat lines. There's this nice little channel at this level where I got to do some technical run through here.
How heavy is your boat?
How heavy? It's not too bad. Yeah, this whole piece next to the rock was kind of intimidating.
I mean, were you worried about, once you're past the top of it, you didn't want to just use the pillow to push yourself back to the right?
No, I didn't. I didn't want to
were there features down below it that were?
Well, right off the rock here, I'll show you. I mean, if I can avoid it and not mess with the pillow, I will.
I love pillows. They're so beautiful.
Okay, so do you see?
Yeah, like you hit it right there. There, you kind of hit it there. There you go.
Yeah, but do you see hold on, do you see that like little thing to the left right there? Yeah. That was big and nasty.
But it looks like you don't even have to work hard. If you just floated, it would have pushed you back, wouldn't it? Or am I missing something?
It kind of wants you to go in there. So I had to work hard to avoid it. Yeah, it was definitely somewhere you don't want to be. It sort of reminds me like Dinosaur at Clavey at 8,000, that big nasty thing at the side of it.
Yeah.
It's sort of like that.
I mean, with the fish, it's hard to get perspective sometimes on it. Thanks.
Yeah, I wasn't very happy about doing that. I think there's one more. What is this? Oh, this is the bottom of that rapid. Just looking back up. Yeah. And then this is the same rapid. This is me with the GoPro videoing our gearboat went our gearboat. This is our gearboat and safety kayaker. So Arjun, you can see in the front, he's taking the main line. And then Tinley with the gearboat is taking the right side sheet line.
Wait, what's the main line?
Where the kayaker's going.
Going from left to right up there.
Yeah. There's a massive, like in the kayak, it's not too bad, but right to his right, there's a massive lateral you have to break. The only way to do it is downstream ferry. Even on the downstream ferry, it's pretty brutal. Where in the kayak, Arjun does a great job. But I've seen video of people flipping off of this rock with a gearboat before the trip. Yeah, this is just me with my iPhone from the Scout.
Is that the one you did?
I was a little more left. So like where he went over, it was super unstable. Like if I'd gone there with people, they might have fallen out. So I had to go more left. Where he had a big, heavy gearboat, it was hard to get left. And then he'd have to worry. He had one of the cooks in his boat. But,
What happens if you went right of the rock that he went just left of?
oh, not good. You mean that? Oh yeah, that. No. That's it. It's a boat couldn't fit through there. But like we were thinking, like just avoid stuff as much as you can.
Yeah, man. Oh, totally. This looks like a fun rapid.
Yeah, when I got there, I was a little nervous. I was like, oh no, this looks big, but it worked fine. And this is the last kind of big rapid. This one's called Figure of Eight. And this is just so at this point now we have like 20,000 CFS probably. And it's not like anything crazy. But so also Tinley wanted for the gearboat, he wanted the oar rates. And so I took the oar rates off and put them on the gearboat. So now I'm running just spinnies. Which I'm starting to like spinnies more and more. I use them on the Grand Canyon.
Oh boy, here we go.
I am still a pins and clips guy, but I'm kind of enjoying.
It doesn't look like your pins and clips guy when you're running spinnies here.
Well, it's what I had. I mean, they don't even have pins and clips.
No, but before you switched them around backwards. Before you gave them up, you were using them backwards because you didn't have to use them.
Yeah, but so I like the spinnies. But also, like, so you can see, also I'm running Inzy outie. Like I wasn't running as a stopper, which I've been kind of enjoying. It's been fun.
Oh man,
this is just a big water rapid. Nothing too exciting. All right.
Were there any big like wave turns?
Yeah, I didn't get video of one of them, but I almost flipped in a wave train.
Oh really?
Yeah, I had a swim lane. It from the top. It didn't look that hard. And then we got into it. It was mad, like two back-to-back massive waves. The first one kind of slowed us down. Then we went to the second with the momentum, and it kind of peeled us back a little bit. And somebody fell out the front left. And
how big was your boat again?
This is 16.
Yeah,
I mean, this is 16 with some weight too. I mean, there's all that weight in the back. Yeah, there were some big wave trains for sure. This rapid had some waves. And then right after this one, there's the one they call it camel humps because the waves are like humps on a camel. And we skirted it. I didn't want to get down the middle because I could have flipped. But there were wave trains that could flip boats pretty easily.
How was the camping?
Just big sandy beaches.
Oh, really?
Yeah, massive sandy beaches, super cool.
And what'd you guys do for pooping?
Just dug a hole in the ground
And then were you taking water out of the river for cooking, or were you using side streams? Or were you doing
I didn't cook. We actually brought 2 cooks, so their whole job is to cook.
So what were you doing for drinking water?
We brought bottled water, which is crazy. They poured it into bottled water. I didn't do the pack, so the boys just brought like a ton of bottled water. But I also had a filter, like a little filter I could squeeze water through from the river. And then for cooking, they probably boiled river water. I mean, I didn't.
You guys, they carried in bottled water. That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah, it's funny. They're minimizing stuff, but they also carried in like apple juice boxes because they just, for some reason, they think that Americans need to have like with every meal an apple juice box. So we had some like food wise, we had so much excess weird stuff. But yeah, we camped. I mean, 2 of the nights we camped kind of close to some villages. And so one of the nights they'd walk down and they gave us some local wine, and They made offerings a lot. Like if a group saw us, they'd come around and they'd bring us like these things look like cornflakes and bananas and things, and some of the local wine, and then we'd give them some money. When somebody gives you an offering, you're supposed to offer them something back, but we had nothing to offer them, so we gave them just money. That's it. All right, I got some videos to watch. Some other videos to watch.
All right, let's do it.
And we can close this up. This one is gonna kind of blow your mind. Have you seen this? Dude, this is. Do you know what a hydrospeed is?
Looks like a inflatable kayak.
It's like a thing. It's like a riverboard. It's inflatable. So this is a video from, I think in Chile, of some dude rescuing people on a hydrospeed.
What river are they on? Do we know?
I think it's the Petro Hui. Yeah, Petro Hui.
What's it called? The hydro what?
Hydrospeed. I've seen they people use these in New Zealand for running some rivers. I think some people are really into them. It's just a fancy riverboard. It's like kind of carved in a little bit. You can put your elbows in close.
Oh my god! It's just a high-tech kickboard.
Yeah. These people look scared.
Yeah, they do. It looks scary. Well, I mean, let's talk about it. I mean, at least their feet aren't pointed downstream, but that person's about to nail rock. Luckily, they didn't.
I mean, would you worry about? I'm not worried about foot entrapments right now. This isn't the kind of water where foot entrapments. I mean,
I'm worried about the people on the right a little bit about foot entrapment.
Really?
Yeah, because they're facing downstream and the feet.
Yeah, but the river's deep here. I don't think they're hitting the bottom.
At the moment.
I mean, they went through some rocks earlier, but I mean, it's possible, but
they're just getting destroyed.
I think my fear is somebody takes a big gulp of water that they start having problems and just being really cold.
Oh, she's trying to hold on to the paddle and she's going on. Good job.
Or just losing. I mean, there's no downstream safety. Like if somebody just swims this on their own, they're just gone.
Yeah. Where is everyone else?
That's the thing. Like this guy's
what's the plan? Is he
this guy's a hero on his little what do you call it?
The hydrospeed?
Yeah, but you had another name for it earlier.
Oh, is it the kickboard?
His high-tech kickboard is saving four people. And there's that's a safety cat. Like where was the safety cat the whole time? Like this is an awful safety cat owner. And there's two kayaks down there. We saw a kayak at the beginning.
They're flipping it over. The kickboard's flipping over now. Look, everyone's trying to hold on to it.
I just can't get over there should be more it's just what for the longest time we didn't see the safety kayaker or the safety cat.
Well, yeah. This is.
Do you see the upside down boat?
Yeah, I'd rather be holding on to the boat than nothing, honestly.
Yeah, but yeah, me too.
Where's the guide too?
I don't know.
Yeah. So I don't like about the safety cats when they got the high bar in the front. It's really hard to get people in them.
Yeah, I mean, nice if it didn't have that, but it would. I mean, he can actually get them to shore, even if they're holding on.
Oh yeah, I know. It's way better option than the kickboard.
But the kickboard saved them. The safety catter was just who knows what.
Yeah, where's the guide?
Maybe the guide. I mean, this might have been self-guided, where those people rented a boat.
No, really? You think?
I mean, the guide should be on that upside down boat,
or at least get rescued or something.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't look like the nicest raft there.
And this water is so continuous. Like if those people, where do you oh man, it's just so, I hate rivers. This continues. They're so dangerous. A swimmer's just gone. Okay. So that's the first one.
Wow. Okay.
Thought that was kind of cool. And then the next one is this one. Have you seen the? Oh, this is. I'm gonna tell you, I have been getting so many bedrock videos of people messing up. It's awesome. Like there's so much carnage at Bedrock and people posting their videos. First of all, can you tell? Wait, hold on. Right here, I can just tell his rowing is just not very efficient. Like he's just not getting strength out of his oars.
Really, you figured that out at that point, Zach. Wow,
Yeah, I did. But also, like his angle is just he's not downstream. He's not downstream ferrying at all. He's fighting the river.
Well, his oars are pretty wide when he's pulling. They're way wide. I mean,
that's terrifying.
nice job seeing the boat.
Yep. At least it didn't fall out. That's the trip I did. Somebody did that and they fell out. I mean, it's nice. They're nice, stable spots.
I think get stuck in the eddy. Let's see.
Yeah. Oh,
you had some stuff that wasn't tied in there, bro.
probably the map. That eddy is brutal.
Well, if it pushes them out, that's nice. A lot of times what works real well is when the first raft gets stuck in there, then the other rafts bounce off of it and they don't go all the way in there. So you just send the first one in there.
Hang out for a while, let everybody else go through.
Yeah.
You know, my first giveaway that they're going to struggle is the Gilman grips. Do you see the Gilman grips?
Grand Canyon Gilman grips is an interesting run. That's not what I would use down there.
Oh, man. I shouldn't make fun of them. People like them. It's pretty astute. He has some pretty astute observations here.
Yeah,
I think
he's pretty mellow.
Just chill out. It'll be fine. Look at this.
Oh, dude.
He stayed in and the high side.
Nice.
Instant replay. He grabbed something, though.
Oh.
Isn't that awesome?
They got out. The Zach method is just hold on and
just wait. Just wait. It'll probably be fine. That's the Zach method. I got one more video and then we're.
Bedrock is it's causing some problems these days.
Yeah, I mean, when we were out there, we heard about. We talked to a few people who were like, "Yeah, this has been a nonstop problem."
I'm gonna say this, it's like Blossom Bar is to the Rogue. It's not that hard, but if you mess up, it can punish you. It can really punish you.
I think it's hard. I mean, so many people have been having problems there. People are just struggling, and I think it's because to run it successfully, you have to have a good downstream ferry, which is something you don't just magically get. Like we can talk about it at the Scout, but people executing a downstream ferry really struggle executing it.
Zach, you have to just go right. Point your boat towards the right shore and keep pulling towards the right shore.
Well, we had people do that and they still didn't make it. So I think you have to have a downstream ferry, and you have to break a big lateral hole thing at the top. You can't go around that. You just downstream, at least at the entrance, downstream ferry into that thing, break it, and then pull right. But people are going way too center around that whole thing. And you need to hit it pretty hard and early.
Yeah, yeah. Give me a quick second here. Sorry about that.
Okay, so
yeah. No, I mean, I think there's some people having problems with it, but it's it's not that hard, Zach. It's not that hard.
It's hard. It's hard because people are making it, and this is happening a lot. It is hard.
Well, I think
it's not hard for Aaron Cavagnolo.
I'm going to put the rest. I think the rest of the river is really easy and extremely forgiving. And this is the first time there's a place that actually is you do have to make a move there, and you'll get punished if you don't. It's not. It's still class 3. maybe class 3 plus.
It's class 4 for sure, Aaron.
No way.
It is class 4 for sure.
Troublemaker is way harder.
No. Come on.
Yeah, Troublemaker's harder.
Troublemaker's not that hard. By the way, Troublemaker's class 4 too.
Do you think this or Blossom Bar is more challenging?
I can't even compare them because
you should be able to compare them.
They're probably the same because you have to make a move.
You have to make a move in both. And would you consider Blossom Bar class 4?
No, this is harder than Blossom Bar.
I think this is easier.
Blossom Bar is class 4. This is harder because
really?
Yeah, because on Blossom Bar you just have to. The downstream ferry is pretty easy.
But then you have the rocks below it too that you're going to run into on the right. But and then they'll swim out, they'll run out, and like you mess this up. Very few people are flipping here. Most of the people end up going left, and they get stuck in an eddy. First of all,
yeah.
But I think going to Todd's next point after this is I think this is what's happening is more and more people are running it and taking boats down there who don't have the skills that they used to have. First of all, and I think it's much more lax in terms of, oh yeah, you can do it, dude. It's not that hard. Yeah. So I think there's a lot of that going on. And I think you're just getting a bigger and bigger group of people. And I think the guides down there, even the commercial guides down there, are not as experienced as they used to be. There's more turnover, so they're not as good. So I think even though most companies aren't having problems, a couple are having some problems, but most aren't. So I don't know. I just think it's like on most class 3 rivers you run, there's Fowler's Rock at a lot of flows.
This is harder than Fowler's Rock.
No, it's not. It's
Aaron,
not.
Aaron, I think it's challenging. I think it's a challenging move. Only a few people on our trip styled it. Everybody struggled, at some point.
Do you think it's harder than Crystal?
No, Crystal's pretty easy. You just go left. At the flow we had it, you just go left. I thought it was really easy.
When you can go left, it is easier. When you go right, it's hard. But then also, there's some tweener flows where it gets a little more challenging.
I thought the hardest thing in the river was going right at upset.
Why would you go right at upset?
Because I didn't want to go left. We already had this talk like a month ago.
That's not hard to go left, though. What do you think is harder, this or did you guys do the pull at horn from right to left?
Yeah, we did.
The pull at horn, I think, is harder than this.
No, this is harder. I don't know. They're both they're about the same. They're about the same. But if you don't make the pull at horn, it's not an automatic disaster. Like there's like a lot. What I thought of the Grand Canyon was I watched people I watched people miss moves all the time, and they would go through a big hole sideways and be fine. So I'm like,
that's my
the
point.
consequence of not making the move is you just like might flip, but so many people missed moves and went through whole sideways and like, oh, huh, that's cool. Where like if you don't make this move, you're gonna hit that rock pretty hard, and you might end up in that weird eddy. You might end up flipping. Like the consequence of missing this,
and that's why it's class 3.
It's class 4. Aaron, this is class 4.
Class 2 is where you just go through it sideways and you usually come out upright, but maybe something will happen to you. That's class 2. That's bouncing rock.
No, that's not class 2. That's not how class 2 is defined. If you look in the dictionary, class 2 is not defined as what you just said.
What's class 2 defined as?
Class 2 is, I don't know. Look it up on the AW website. American White Water classification. There are class ratings. I'll read it to you. The International Scale of River Difficulty. Class 2. What? Why is the internet so hard to use? Standard Rapids, class 1 to 3. Okay. Class, oh, geez. I'll never find this. Do you see where I'm at right now? I don't see where I'm at right now.
No, you're not sharing it, but keep going.
Section 6. Oh, man, I can't find it. I suck at the internet. Can you find it?
I'm going to have to do this for you, aren't I?
I just Googled it, but I can't find upgrading. See if this is it.
Okay, I'm just going to Wikipedia.
Okay.
Class 2, straightforward rapids with wide, clear channels, which are evident without scouting. Occasional maneuvering may be required.
Occasional maneuvering may be required.
Occasional.
Those, yeah, but those
that's
rapids.
class 2. That's class 2.
Yeah. Old
But
Scary is
rocks
class
and
2.
medium-sized
To
waves
me, Old
are
Scary is the
easily
definition of class
avoided
2.
by trained paddlers. Swimmers are seldom injured, and group assistance, while helpful, is seldom needed. Rapids that are at the upper end of the difficulty are designated class 2 plus. Class 3, rapids with moderate irregularity, which may be difficult to avoid and which can swamp an open canoe. Complex maneuvers in fast current and good boat control and tight passages around ledges are often required. This sounds like class 3 to me, Zach. Large waves and strainers may be present, but
this is
avoidable.
this is most of the Grand Canyon.
Tight passages, no, boat control and tight passages. This is like the only tight passages down there.
Okay, read class 4 now.
Intense, powerful, but predictable rapids require precise boat handling in turbulent water. Depending on the character of the river, it may feature large, unavoidable waves and holes or constricted passages demanding fast maneuvers under pressure.
Yes, that's bedrock right there.
No,
that is bedrock.
It's not
100%.
fast maneuvers.
I heard construction. This is a fast maneuver.
No.
You have to get
fast
to the
maneuvers
right
is like you got to go through this rock and you got to do multiple moves in a row. Is class 4. Class 3 is like one move. That's why this is class 3. You pull to the right. That's class 3. Pull to the right. Class 4,
but it's a hard
pull to the right, then pull back to the left.
No. It's a hard pull to the right.
Pull to the right. Go over a big drop. You really don't want to go over. Then pull to the left.
You just made things up.
No,
you just made things up.
No.
Say class 4 again, so that the audience can vote on this. So read class 4 again, but be less annoying.
Powerful but predictable rapids requiring precise boat handling in turbulent water. The water is not that turbulent there.
It's turbulent.
No,
it's very turbulent.
Depending on the character of the river, it may feature large, unavoidable waves and holes or constricted passages demanding fast maneuvers, plural maneuvers, under pressure. A fast, reliable eddy turn may be needed to initiate maneuvers, scout rapids, or rest. Rapids may require must make moves above dangerous hazards. Okay, maybe. Scouting may be necessary the first time down.
Scouting is necessary the first time down.
Nah, it's not on that one. You don't need to scout.
On bedrock, you need to scout. Are you kidding me?
I was just talking to Ben about OU trips. I'm like, what do you guys do with, because they have these boaters who come down every time who are these, they have the baggage boaters or whatever. And I'm like, do you guys scout? He's like, nah, we don't scout it. I'm like, do you have any problems this year? He's like, no, we didn't have any problems. He's like, dude, you just pull right. And I'm like, if they're not having problems with their whatever.
No, but they have like real guides.
They have, but the people rowing those boats historically are not that good. Like
then they're having problems. There's no way they're not that good at not having problems, especially not scouting. You need to know where to go. Like, come on, Aaron.
You don't need to know it's pretty obvious. You can see from the top, you pull to the right. When's the earliest you can pull the right? That's where you pull to the right.
I think that's the problem people have is they don't pull to the right the earliest chance they can. They try to miss the little whole wave thing at the top. They need to just power through it.
And I'm going to say something here. Now that I'm on my soapbox ranting. Scouting, so many people, I don't think scouting helps them run the rapid better because the perspective is so different from the side. They don't know where they are when they get out there. They're confused and lost, and they would be better off just following the person in front of them, see where they made their move, and try to do
assuming the person in front of them does it well.
Well, yes. But
that's a big assumption.
But even if they don't,
maybe the person in front of them needs to scout.
So many times people get in their brain, they're trying to find something and they're trying to look for, instead of just reading the book that's in front of them, they're trying to remember, they're trying to find the story they had from a different angle, and they don't see the same story and they don't know what to do. And I think I will bet you if less people scouted this, they'd have less problems.
No way.
Yeah, I bet.
That's not
true. On this
okay.
just pull right.
Let's get to some of these comments. First of all, the argument is bedrock class 3 or class 4?
Yeah.
Aaron says it's class 3. It's definitely class 4. Come on. The passengers wearing a bike helmet.
Yes.
I don't know. Like,
whatever. I mean, a lot of people aren't even wearing helmets on this run, so it's better than nothing.
I wore a cowboy hat when I ran it, so I mean, I'd rather wear a bicycle helmet than a cowboy hat. Yeah. Todd says class 3. See, I think you guys are both a little cocky.
No,
this is underrating stuff to be like, oh, it's just class 3.
Rapids with
class
moderate irregular waves, which may be difficult to avoid, which may swamp an open canoe. Definitely could swamp an open canoe. Complex maneuvers in fast current and good boat control in tight passages or around ledges are often required. This is what this is. Good boat control in a tighter passage.
I think John that's a very astute answer, John. Thank you.
John, class 4.
Line is super obvious. The line being obvious doesn't make
Yeah,
it class 3.
And it's one move. It's not complex. It's not a complex problem.
If a line
This
is
a
super
simple
obvious,
problem.
that just means it's obvious. It doesn't mean it. Like there's class 5 rapids where the line is super obvious. It's obvious you go there. It's just really hard.
Zach, name me one of those.
I mean, Lewis's Leap. It's super obvious where to go. Mushroom.
No way.
Mushroom is super obvious where to go.
Mushroom is not super obvious where you go at all.
Where else can you go than where you go?
You go left and right and the back. Yeah, if you didn't.
Yeah, it's obvious. If you look at it, you're like, it's hard, but this is where you're gonna go.
Yeah. No, because when you tell people like, wait, where are we going?
Well, they don't know better, or what? I mean, most of Cherry Creek, there's like a way to go. It's just like
and so
Gore Rapid.
If it requires following someone to know the line, that's the same as requiring Scott. I agree, Silva. I don't think it requires following someone. I'm just saying you're better off following someone than scouting it. I think it's a read and run rapid.
Hold on.
Go through and go.
No, you're wrong. It's better to scout it and follow somebody. That would be the best. Okay, let's at least look at it and know what we're doing.
And then I agree with this premise, but I don't think you even need to scout it. I mean, I don't think it's
because you're an effing Cavignolo.
No,
like,
I think
everybody has like your ability.
If you read the guidebook and said you want to go right of the rock, okay, I want to go right of this rock.
Which rock?
There's one big, huge rock.
Well, you may not see it if you don't scout it. If you don't scout, you won't know where the rock is.
You're not gonna. You have so much time at the top there to pull right. I'm gonna say this. Crystal, if I'm running right at Crystal, I'd want to scout it because it's trickier. The entrance on Crystal is way trickier than this.
I think the key to this one in scouting, and if I scouted it with people, I'd tell them some different, like I'd be more, I just let them look at it. I'm like, you guys ready? Let's go. But I wish I'd talked to people more. If you scout it, like see that wave right there at the top, you need to break through that. Don't go around it, go through that. And you need to have a marker for where that is. So like, you need to get that wave, and above it, you need to know how to get to that wave. That's what I would do when I scout. You can have a better line if you scout, Aaron. I mean,
thanks, Todd.
No,
I mean, Todd's being a little extreme, but I think though it's like it's no harder than making the move at Fowler's. It's
way harder than Fowler's.
It's
way harder than Fowler's.
It's definitely easier than Blossom. Blossom is so much tighter.
It's not easy. It's harder than Blossom. I actually have to say,
and I'm going to say this, Zach. You take a lot of these Grand Canyon boaters and try to get them to run down, and even commercial boaters on the South Fork, they're going to have way more problems on the South Fork American.
No way.
South Fork is.
You're right. So, I mean, I ran the canyon with some people who were not asleep at the wheel.
Hey, John Palmer agrees with me. John Palmer. Yeah, do you remember John Palmer?
Aaron, stop looking at the comments. Live in the now, not the future.
Let's I can't. Am I clicking?
Live in the now, not the future, Aaron. Live in the moment.
Yeah.
Let's finish this comment. I ran it with some people who were not asleep at the wheel, and they were not clueless, and they messed it up. So I'm going to disagree with this comment.
What happened?
They just didn't make the pole.
Did they not pull hard enough? Did they not start early? It doesn't require pulling that hard. First,
I would say they started too late.
I think that is the problem. Is you just got to pull to the right, and I think that is the problem.
Yeah, but it's not just pull to the right. It's like you need to start your pull to the right early.
Yeah, but
you
then
can't
here's
dilly dally and then pull to the right. You have to start as early as you can, and it's not and get right early and break.
Well, and I think a lot of people do this. Oh, you need to get momentum, so I got to start way over here and start pulling hard across like 10 strokes. And you're like, no, just start on the right side of the river.
Voice is
pull
that?
Right. Well, it's right. That's one that drives me crazy. Oh, you got to be really strong. You know those guys. Like, oh yeah, you got to be.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah. You don't need momentum. You need to break those laterals at the top.
You need to start on the right and stay right.
Sure, that would work. That would work.
Now
Anyway,
we need to get to John Palmer's comment.
okay.
John Palmer worked down there for a long time. He's guided a ton of trips.
No, this
down
is
there.
the problem with you guys who worked down there for a long time. You guys are all so good that like it seems like class 3 to you. But for the average,
it's not even about us being so good. Like,
no, it's all you guys.
Working in Grand Canyon makes you it makes you a poor boater. I'll say it makes you soft in terms of your guiding skills. Like getting good guiding skills, you don't get those working down there.
I did not say that. I'm just saying.
I know. I will say it though. It's like you're not. It's most of it is not that challenging. Like
this is class 4. Bedrock is class 4.
Class 3.
No, that's just cocky. I'm just gonna say that's
no,
cocky.
it's not cocky. It's
cocky.
class 3, Zach. If we took 100 people at random and had them run Bedrock and had them run
say Fowler. Say Fowler.
Fowler's
I dare you to
Rock,
say Fowler's. No, they were all
and had them run Blossom Bar. This one,
Aaron,
I think
people run Blossom Bar. Like there's like 40 boats a day go through Blossom. Maybe one has a problem. There's a lot of boats struggling.
The people who row the Rogue are better boaters than the people rowing Grand Canyon these days. That's why.
Okay.
That's my point. Is I think they are.
Yeah, his rowing technique did suck. I will.
He didn't even couldn't hold an angle. He couldn't hold his angle. He didn't hold his angle. I mean, he didn't. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think most people row at this level. Not everybody gets to row all over the world, Aaron.
I agree.
They row once a year. They paddle boat at home. They're in the paddle boat and you're kayaking. You know, they're really good in like, I don't know, wherever they live, like, I don't know, Montana.
No,
once every couple of years they row a gearboat down the Grand Canyon. They're still learning how to row.
Yeah. No. Yep. You see a lot of that. Yep. Welcome. There's this thing called rocks and momentum. And I think that's
just different skill sets.
Yeah, they get scared because there's some rocks.
There's Middle Fork guides.
Where are these rocks?
There's Middle Fork people that probably suck at the Grand Canyon too.
No, doesn't happen.
It's different skill set.
The Middle Fork guides can translate very easily to Grand Canyon. The other way doesn't translate easily. I've seen it too many times. People who've worked other places come Grand Canyon, they typically do really well. If they haven't rowed paddle captain, it takes them like a trip to learn to row, and then they're okay.
It takes them a trip to learn how to row. I think if you only ever
it takes them like a couple of days.
I think if you only ever do the Grand Canyon, that's all you do is just the Grand Canyon. Yeah, your skill set probably is.
And then this is hard.
You're memorizing lines.
Make a move. You have to make a move here. You do have to make a move. You have to pull right. It's a move. It's not maneuvers plural. That's the other thing, Zach. Class 4 is maneuvers, multiple maneuvers.
Hold on. There are rapids where there's one maneuver and it's class 4.
What name?
That can't. I don't know. I don't know. But there are it's just one really hard move. Chamberlain.
I might give you Chamberlain.
Done. Okay.
Yeah. That's way different. Yeah.
It's not way different. That is one move. It's
Chamberlain's really class 3 when it's higher. It's just class 4.
Oh God, I'll be back at this. But I mean, the thing about the rating system is it's kind of written for canoeists. Like it even says in class 3, can swamp an open canoe. So it wasn't really designed for rafting. Rafters just adopted it, and so it's not exactly.
And now this would be a pretty easy rapid in a canoe.
Bedrock.
Yeah, super easy.
No way. I would scared out of my mind.
I would totally paddle that in a canoe.
I would do it, but I'd be freaked out. I'd much rather row
it.
About tipping. And on a canoe, you have to you have to switch sides, right? So
here's the next question, Zach.
Paddle. Canoeing's hard.
If I gave you $10,000, would you swim this rapid?
Yeah.
What if I gave you $1,000? Would you swim this rapid?
Yeah.
Okay. If I give you $1,000, would you swim mushroom?
No.
Okay. $1,000, would you swim blossom?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
1,000. I'd swim blossom.
Which would you rather swim, this or blossom?
Probably blossom. But I mean, I've
You've run
Blossom.
Blossom a lot more times, yeah.
But I've swam the bottom up. I have never swum the top move, but I've swam the end of it a few times. It's kind of fun actually. And the top move would be easy. There's just no reason to take that risk.
No, it's a scary risk. This is a scary one too. I
mean,
it is a scary one to be able to.
But Blossom is such an easy one to swim. I mean, you just have to you just get right and break the laterals and you're done, right? This one it's just it's more powerful.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this. Private boaters who aren't good at rowing, get your Grand Canyon trip in now because it's only going to get harder because the river is going to continue to drop. All right.
Thanks for that public service announcement.
Yeah, public service announcement. Get your private trip in now before this gets harder and it becomes more technical.
Aaron, it's going to snow in Colorado. It's going to be fine.
No, I think they're trying to keep more water in the upper reservoir now, and they're dropping it another, was it 2 or 3%? I've got some information on it somewhere.
Yeah, I've read this. All they need is a good year of snow. They need 1983 to happen again. That's gonna be fine.
But just another 1983.
Yeah, we're due. So we're due.
Let me see here. I think. Yeah, they're going to release 6.4% less water in 2023 than they did in 2022.
All right, you want to watch one more video?
Ooh, what was that?
That's how you get points.
Oh, where are they now?
This is
what's going on? See, I mean,
this same guy, by the way, same guy.
Oh, right into the hole.
Okay, you already know what I'm going to say. Hold on. Let me get it right here. Okay, you know what I'm going to say?
Pins and clips.
Pins and clips, baby. If you have pins and clips, it'd be just fine.
That's the
whole point.
Yeah. I mean, we need to find a way to help these people be better rowers before they go out there. Because I think it's not that hard to get the skills to do it well.
Yes, it is. Aaron, it's hard. So we have a bunch of people who contact us. They're going to do the Grand Canyon, get a permit. Hey, we want you to teach us how to run the Grand Canyon. Can we take a 2-day private class with you? And I'm like, dude, I will spend 2 days with you, but I am not going to certify you ready to run the Grand Canyon. And the problem with learning how to run the Grand Canyon somewhere else is there's nowhere else in the US really you can go that has this type of water to practice on.
But I would say this, just learn how to downstream ferry into eddies to catch them.
That's what we do. So we spend 2 days
over and over and over.
We hammer them on downstream ferries for 2 days. I say, hey, we're going to take smaller boats and smaller rivers. And we're just going to downstream ferry into everything we can the whole time. And we just do it over and over and over and over and over and do whiteboards and explain to them why this matters and do it again. And they email us afterwards hey, that really helped. Thanks. So I think it does help, but 2 days of it's not enough to be ready to run.
Well, and I think the other thing you do when you're down here, though, is you don't wait for those rapids where you have to make those moves. You practice you practice it beforehand.
Yeah. But people don't know to practice. People don't know how important a downstream ferry is.
People don't understand that practicing makes them better.
They don't. If it also the trip I went on, I was teaching people what's the first rapid again? House Rock. I was hey guys, this is a technique you want to practice now. You'll need it later. Yeah. And I went first. I'm watch what I do. I'm gonna downstream ferry over there, and a couple of them they practiced it there, and that was great. And then they used it more and more later on, but it's something that they'd never done. These are longtime boaters who had never really done a downstream ferry, and so they're learning that, and there wasn't even their first canyon trip, and they never really downstream ferried.
Really?
Yeah. Huh. And maybe they had, but they were just pretty surprised. I mean, they didn't seem they hadn't done it much. These ferry angles. I mean, I think you guys are making this whole Grand Canyon Middle Fork boater thing. I think you're making some big
no, pretty
stereotypes.
Much. If someone comes down from the Middle Fork, they know how to row, and you're not really worried about them. Someone comes up to the Middle Fork from Grand Canyon who's only worked on Grand Canyon.
I don't think I've ever
I've had people ask me, and you're like, you've only worked on Grand Canyon. I'm not going to really put.
I probably wouldn't hire somebody who's only worked Grand Canyon, because I think that they're I'm not worried about on river. I'm worried about other stuff, because I feel like a lot of Grand Canyon guys.
Well, I'd be worried about on river with them, because I don't think they know how to shift their oars. They don't know about momentum in the same way. They don't.
That stuff's all teachable.
It is, but when are you going to teach them it? You're not. They need to go to the South Fork first, and they need to run some day trips on something.
South Fork, paddle boating.
that would be better for them. They just need to understand low water boating and rocks and momentum. They need to learn that.
Okay. Well, they're going to be
learning
good
on the same ships. Yeah.
if the water keeps dropping in the canyon. They're going to be very good.
I'm excited about this. I mean, Zach. A lot of the outfitters they're going to have to do some more guide training or start hiring more experienced guides or something, because some outfitters in particular are having problems. Because
they just have to figure out how to run certain rapids. There's just gonna be like 3 rapids that are really hard, and they just have to come up with techniques. They can like diagram it, say, "Hey, do this, this, and this." It won't be that hard.
Okay, how do you diagram pull to the right, Zach? Pull to the right.
You get like a whiteboard, and you get little Legos.
And the other thing too is, I'll say my other problem I've noticed is a lot of them are they have a little too much ego.
Oh, jeez. Aaron, are you sure you want to say this stuff out loud for video? Like, people are going to find this video.
No, it's fine. But it's just like...
You're making a lot of
They don't want to listen, too, though. They think they know so much. I've been working there you're like, dude, let's have a conversation about it. And the ego, I think, is a big thing for all of us.
Yeah, and Middle Fork guys don't have an ego at all. We're just perfectly... Like, we're super chill, like, very down to earth.
Totally.
All of us.
Yeah.
Find the bears.
Exactly, Rescue Randy. Yep. Take the bread in your boat.
A big slippery emerald pocket pad. Hey, that's what I put in the front of my boat. Oh yeah, we're watching a video. I forgot. Let's go back to that. I just want to make the point before we get too far. Is, man, this is where you want those pins and clips, man.
Yep, dude, that's a nasty spot to be.
Oh yes, it's the replay. I love this guy.
This is some. I mean, and kudos to the dude for putting it out there too. I'll say it's like, man, that's yeah. When do you realize I'm gone? Yeah.
Wait, where's Woody's helmet? He had a helmet on in Bedrock.
Yeah, because I guess they're not worried about this one. Or maybe this is earlier on in the trip before they realize.
Hold on, is that a non-locking carabiner on the front of his PFD?
Is the thing dangling?
I don't know. I have never seen so many non-locking carabiners as my Grand Canyon trip. It was unbelievable.
Oh boy! Oh no! Wrong side. Oh, poor guy.
He just doesn't know. I feel so bad. He just doesn't know. This is I could say this is class 3 because literally you couldn't mess this up worse and they're fine. Right? Like, it's hitting every hole.
This dude's having the time of his life too.
I mean,
and you know the story's gonna be when he's at the bar at home. Yeah, the guy who was running the boat, Phillips, tried to get back on the oars, and I had to get the one back on, and then we had to run this big stuff, and then I had to run the boat down, and then I had to rescue the guide. You know, that's gonna be the story.
I mean, look at they both go to these big holes. The fact that they went in these big holes and nobody had a problem. He like ran the whole rapid with one oar. This is class 3. What rapid is this? Hans?
Hans is. I think Hans is the one that's always been like, man, that's a full-on rapid.
Come on, that's like literally the guy fell.
How different is that from what happened in Bedrock? How happened with Bedrock? But no one swam in Bedrock. He didn't swim in Bedrock. He swam here.
That's true. Good point.
So it's class 3.
Right. Bedrock's not class 3. Not the Bedrock I saw.
What?
Aaron,
Did you see a flip? Did you see a flip at Bedrock or something?
Yeah, we had a flip and we had a boat get caught in the eddy on the left.
Yeah, where they got
doing
caught.
Laps.
Yeah,
remember we watched the video. We had some stuff and somebody hurt his knee, and I mean these are people that had done the Grand Canyon before. They were good boaters. I mean, and we had one boat that hit the rock pretty hard and should have flipped or had a problem and got lucky and made it right. And so, I mean, I saw decent boaters mess it up repeatedly. So I'm convinced it's class 4. But the thing here is, I think a lot of times people underrate things to sound cool, like, oh, that's just class 3.
No,
you're just doing
that's not underrating.
That's you saying oh, I do class 5, I do super gnarly stuff. Like, I feel like there's a lot of class 5 boaters out there that rate stuff class 3 that gets people into trouble.
You mean sandbagging it?
sandbagging it. I think it happens all the time, and it's.
No,
I think there's a lot of ego.
I think
A
this
lot
is
of ego
great
in
inflation.
sandbagging.
I think this is the other. I think this is the other end. This is great inflation because I had problems with it. It must be class 4 versus. Well, you had problems with it because maybe you're not a class. Maybe you're not a solid class 3 rower like you thought you were.
Aaron, I was kind of challenged by it. Not. It wasn't difficult, but it created some challenge to me. That's class 4 to me. Like class 3 is a yawner. Like class 3 is like I'm kind of like this isn't even like this rapid isn't even worthy of my abilities.
Like Wildcat.
Right. Wildcat on the Rogue.
Yeah.
The Wildcat kind of is. It's actually harder than it looks. I mean, Wildcat actually gets my attention.
I know. That's what I was
Wildcat,
like.
It's actually rated class 4 in the book.
Yeah, but come on, really?
It just saying it is rated class 4 in one of the books. But like a lot of class 3 rapids, I'm just like this isn't even like this is using like 1% of my brain. I would say like class 4 starts using a higher percent, and I feel like Bedrock fits in that category. Like I was challenged. Like I'm like this is a tough move. To me, I was like my heart rate was at a heart rate that I would be at in other class 4 rapids, where I was like both beyond being a little bit nervous and just having to work hard. So based on my scale of boating, I'm calling it class 4.
Well, are we talking Rogue class 4? We're talking Tai class 4?
No, I'm going to call Tai class 3.
Tai's called class 4 in the Rogue manual as well.
I'm going to call Tai class 3 plus. I'm going to call Blossom Bar 4.
Ooh, class
and like
3
even
plus.
easy 4. Like Blossom Bar is like 4 minus almost.
Okay, and I'll give you Blossom Bars 4 minus. Because I think it is a little bit of a tricky move, and the consequences are severe. I would say the only reason I could go 4 minus with Bedrock is there's some consequences with it. But the move itself it's class 3 move.
It's a class 4 minus move with class 4 consequences.
Class 3 move. Class 3.
This is you being cocky.
Maneuvering. You've got
this is you and Ted Hoffman being cocky. That's just straight up what it is. You guys are. You guys are two cocky peas in the pot. Yeah, 3 of you.
Jesse's saying the same thing. Only John's got your back.
No, you guys are all like, oh, I'm class 5 boaters. I'm just gonna call Bedrock class 3.
It's class 3.
Okay, here's another thing. Like canoeing, if I'm scared to canoe it, it's class 4. I'm scared to canoe Bedrock. I'm like, it would really scare me.
Are you scared to canoe Fowler's Rock?
No, Fowler's Rock. I
you'd be scared. No, you'd be scared.
I have messed up Fowler's Rock in the past. You don't need to remind me of that. But I was a brand new guide, so now Fowler's Rock is.
How about Saint Cesspool? Would you like to canoe Saint Cesspool?
I wouldn't like to canoe Saint Cesspool.
Okay.
I would. I'd much rather do Saint Cesspool though than Bedrock.
No, Bedrock is easier.
My other definition is stand-up paddleboarding. I'll pretty much stand-up paddleboard any class 3. Class 4, I'm
3. You've got total rapid inflation. You should be barely. So you would do any class 3. So no problem bouncing rock.
What's bouncing rock?
On the South Fork America, it's that nasty. There's this nasty.
No problem. Oh yeah, bouncing rock, no problem. The whole South Fork, except for Troublemaker, no problem.
Saint Cesspool. No problem.
I'd swim, but I'm not worried about it.
Well, I mean, also Troublemaker. Okay, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but like falling off a board, like in Troublemaker, if you fall off the board, you're onto rocks. Where Saint Cesspool, it's deep. So like Bedrock, I would be genuinely scared to stand up paddleboard. Whereas like most class 3, it's just fun, and then class 4, I'm like, this could hurt me. All right, let's get down.
That's if it's shallow. Yeah. All right.
The left line of hands is easier than the right line of Bedrock. Okay.
That's interesting, Todd. It might be. I think it's less consequential, but I think it's more complicated. Like to hit that entrance in the right spot, and then to keep pulling to hold your angle. It's a long ways down through there. Bedrock is just like it's like 20 feet of rope. You really have to row for 20 feet at the right amount, and then you're done. After that 20-foot section, if you start where you need to start.
Yeah, it's just a difficult 20 feet. It's just difficult.
Pull it's like 10 times in 20
pull
feet.
And keep your angle.
Pull and don't turn.
Be at the right. No, be at the right place.
Class 3 to me.
Start at the
Pull
right
and don't
place,
turn. Pull
maintain
and
your
don't turn.
angle, and pull. That's
Pull
hard
and
to do.
don't turn.
Okay,
Class
anyway,
3.
rescue. Hey, all that matters is rescue Randy. and
Rescue
Goose and me.
Randy. Yeah, I
I'll get
agree
a
with
voter.
Coach. What? Wait, what?
Rescue
Wait,
Randy
Rescue
calls it
Randy.
class 4.
At most spoils? What? Rescue Randy, you're killing me.
A bigger permit, a bigger experience, but obvious class 3.
Okay. Rescue Randy, have you run it at like 17,000? Because I don't call that class 3. Oh. I guess in terms of the maneuvering, maybe, but
I had someone tell me they don't use pins and clips because they had a row. I laughed. Yeah, Jesse, dude, the number of people who don't like spinny people who are cocky about spinnies over pins and clips, who get very pissed off,
and
is
yeah.
amazing to me. This is the best way to trigger. This is like, I feel like people that run spinnies are woke. They're easy to trigger. You know, you're like, you just mentioned like, hey,
Let's
pins and
not
clips.
go there.
Pins and clips are really cool, and they just like lose their mind, and they're like, "That's for newbies, old technology." Like,
Okay, Zach,
start a mountain buzz conversation about pins and clips, and people will just like go off about how great their spinnies are,
Here,
and
Zach,
how inexperienced pins and clip people are.
do you think people would have had less problems at Bedrock if they were running pins and clips? For sure.
Interesting.
That pull is way easier with pins and clips. You can pull harder on them. You're not gonna. I bet you half the problems are people missing oar strokes.
Well, if they had Gilman grips, they'd have been just fine. Oh, he had Gilman grips. My bad.
But I think the pins and clips there for that pull make it a lot easier. Or running locks, running rights would make it a lot easier.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, for that one move, for sure.
Okay.
Deal with that.
There you go. No, he's talking.
Yep, he's anti-sandbag.
No. He's talking about Hermit at the 16,000. It's class 4. Totally agree. But I agree. At other levels, it's class 3. Totally with you.
If it was class 4 in 1995, it's class 4 today. I don't know if that's true because I think equipment's gotten better and people have gotten skills have gotten better in general. I mean, the stuff that.
No, I agree with Randy.
But I think the ratings, I agree with them, but I think if it was class 4 in 1995, it's class 4 today. I think I disagree with that because the equipment is so much better now that it's just easier to make these difficult moves.
Zach, tell me a rapid that was class 4 in 1995 that isn't class 4 today.
A Wildcat.
Not even
or Tai.
No, in 95, that wasn't really class 4. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it was. People.
No,
Oregon boaters have gotten way better.
So Oregon on the Rogue, there was some inflation on the Rogue. There's always been inflation because the class 4 on the Rogue, and you go over
Dragon's
to
Tooth.
The class 4 on the Illinois and the class 4 on the Rogue are two separate entities.
Okay, Dragon's Tooth.
That's class 3 plus, isn't it?
It used to be class 4. In 1995, it was class 4.
I think I could still be called that class 4.
The big Ikes. Are the big Ikes really class 4? If you have a floppy Avon that's kind of like not full, yes.
No, at high water, that's hard. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think the rating scale can adjust a little bit now that people have gotten better. Oh no, Todd, they are spinnies for sure. Like you can call them open Orlocks if you want, but they're spinnies because they spin. You get it? They're spinnies. Open Orlocks is just like what? I mean, first of all, I have to say all those syllables. Open Orlocks. That's 4 syllables.
But open Orlocks could mean that you're still running. Oh, that open meaning with not a right? Is that what you mean by open Orlocks?
I don't even know. But like this is just out of simplicity. And I'm not good at how many syllables is open Orlocks? Open Orlocks. 4 syllables. Spinnies. Maybe 2 syllables. So it's just easier for me to say. It rolls off the tongue. Spinnies. If I have to say open Orlocks every time, it's just frustrating. So it just saves me syllables. I think the people that run open Orlocks, they just think that it's this amazing technology that's like the coolest thing ever. It literally is you put your oar in this thing. This is the most basic, simple thing ever. You just like, oh, I'm just going to lay my oar in this thing. This is not the best technology we have and come up with. Like it's so.
Let's move on.
Basic.
Let's move on. I misunderstood Randy. Randy, I'm going to totally disagree with you now because I'm going to say it's 16,000, bedrock is so easy. If you screw up bedrock at 16,000, you don't belong to be on the river. Like you
That's
can
harsh.
make that. No, you can make the pull really early. There's tons of room on the right. It's so open. Like start pulling. You know, I mean, instead of pulling into the eddy, just miss the eddy, and you're gonna miss. And you're gonna be fine in bedrock. Just miss the eddy as you pull in to scout, and you're fine when the water's high. So it's
Aaron.
16,000. I disagree. I kind of agree with you though. I could still see people calling Hermit Class 3 at 16,000. Palco Pad perfect. But a lot of boats flip, and that's keeping the boat upright. So that's by far the biggest, most terrifying Class 3 rapid in the world, if you want to call that Class 3. And so anyways, why are we back to this, Zach?
Because when I close the show up, I just thought I'd put something else on.
Okay.
I want to remind people about our contest, and I will close the show up. This has been, Aaron. This has been a specific. We've insulted a lot of people, and we've been incredibly arrogant. This show.
Well,
I'm just going to call ourselves.
That was the goal. That was the goal here. No. But coming back and just circling around a little bit, I think people need to realize though that the Grand Canyon is changing. It's not the river they ran 10 years ago. It's getting harder because it is.
It's just because of water levels.
Yeah, the water's dropping. It's becoming more difficult.
Yeah, well, when it
much more
snows
challenging.
again, that's going to be over.
Zach, no, the reservoir is so empty. It's not. It's going to fill that quickly, and they're over allocated with water. The river's going to keep getting lower over the next few years. That's the plan. That's what they're saying.
Okay, so what you're saying is like all you people who don't know what you're doing, you're not allowed on my Grand Canyon.
No, I'm just saying maybe practice and train a little bit more. Don't assume because it was fine last time, it's going to be fine this time. And telling your friends, oh yeah, you're going to be fine. Not as much as they used to be. It's harder now. And you're going to have to work harder to make miles. Like everything's a little bit harder. It's a little bit meaner. And your beer doesn't stay as cold in the river.
Are you done in your soapbox, Aaron? I feel like you're lecturing me right now.
Well, there's a lot more comments, so.
Oh my God. Okay, here we go. Palco Pad.
Great. Totally agree.
Spinnies are they are. Well, no, it's just like
not spinny. Yeah.
People that run spinnies are kind of like woke people. Like if somebody's woke, you say something wrong, they get all pissed off at you and rant and rave and go on the internet and tweet at you. Same thing. If you just mention to a spinnies person that pins and clips are cool, they will just go off. They just can't. They can't let it go. It's funny to me.
Zach, maybe you need to wear red spinnies hats.
What should it say?
You should get a red hat that says spinnies on it.
Why?
It doesn't make any sense. I know.
Okay, so
maybe I guess you should say pins and clips, but yeah.
Open is redundant. They're just Orlocks. So I can just say you're running Orlocks. It just sounds weird. Like
no, but Orlocks. If you're running Orlocks, does that mean you're running them with rights or without rights?
Oh, with rights, because the only way to run Orlocks is with rights.
See, everything else said Todd's one of those. Yeah, Todd. Sorry.
Yeah, I think we just triggered Todd.
No,
they're closed. What's a closed Orlock?
I don't know.
Oh, wait, no, I didn't write it. No, I have another thing. Cobras for life. Hey, I'll send you a set.
Okay.
Hey, Float 509. Send Aaron if you really would like Cobras, send Aaron your address and I'll mail you a set of Cobras. I get a bunch of extras.
Yeah, Aaron at riversandoceans.com. By the way, if you guys have video footage, please send it in because otherwise we're going to be back to wind footage pretty soon.
It is wind season.
It's wind season is upon us. So if you have it, you can send me a link, Aaron at riversandoceans.com.
Hold on.
There's some funny comments today.
Just say oars. Pins and clips require the extra identification. Make Spinnies great. That's a hat. Make Spinnies great again.
That's what it should be. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've heard this comment a million times. All right, the training wheels.
I love my training wheels.
Oh man, I have to say, God, I hate this. Don't get me started on this one. The best cap owners in the world run Orites. The best cap owners in the world. So they're running the biggest, nastiest stuff. And so I wouldn't call them training wheels. They're an important tool for the right thing. For those of you that are running class 5, you might consider Orites. But no, or spinnies are great on class 3. I'll trade you for my ace. Oh, hell yes. Absolutely. Done. I'll even throw in something extra.
There you go.
Although Aaron, I am all about the canyons now. I think this. I've used these a
That's
bunch.
not the canyons are so great that you don't want to even run pins and clips anymore. It sounds like.
I've been having fun on spinnies. I've been have a lot of fun on spinnies. But I like these. I'm gonna slowly move to all these. These are great. Y'all never talk about Gilman Crips.
We were talking about them
we brought them up.
this episode. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like. Remember? Did you ever have a bike when you were young that had that grip on them?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Talking
Totally.
about
Yeah,
kind of, the long grip. You put
I
your
think I
hands
still
on.
have those on my 1989 mountain bike.
You should find those and then put them on your oars.
Ooh.
The best, yeah. I mean, there are some really good boaters that run all rights because they know for like the big hard stuff you need to just yard. Yeah, it is cat boaters. It is cat boaters. Someone should have been with spinnies. If someone should have been with spinnies.
Totally. Oh.
Yeah, that would be a challenge. The spinny North Fork challenge. That would be a good challenge.
Yeah.
No, do not call the office for the trade. We're out for Thanksgiving. We're actually all at a conference next week. Email Aaron at aaronriversnotions.com. I will mail them to you when I get back from this conference. And then if you give me the A locks, cool. If not, you can have them. Love my cane. Wait, hold on. You really want Cobras over A's? Are you kidding me? These, I don't mind. I'm not going to have this discussion. Yeah, canyons are sweet. All right. Should we shut this down, Aaron?
Yeah, let's do that. Hey, those of you guys that tuned in today, thanks for tuning in. I think this brings us to the end of our mediocre rafting show.
Yeah.
So
I mean, can I rename it like the arrogant and dismissive rafting show?
totally.
We were pretty arrogant and dismissive this week.
Well,
and insulting.
We was really me, but thank you, Zach, for taking on part of that.
We should rename it Aaron's arrogant and dismissive rafting show.
It's easy to talk trash about people you don't know.
Yeah.
So
you basically talk trash about all canyon guides.
Yeah, I did. Well,
someday
they annoy me sometimes. And we'll have this the cast after the cast. We'll talk a little more about that. Oh yeah, that'd be nice to be on the road right now. What else I was gonna say? Hey, next week, Zach, are we going back to our regular time, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time?
Yeah, I'm gonna be in Florida for a meeting, and let's go back to 2:00 from now on. But I'm gonna do it from a rafting conference, and so I might try to see if I get some guests on, or I don't know.
When are we having Marty on?
December 9th.
Okay, so December 9th. So 2 weeks, we're gonna have Marty McDonnell on from Sierra Mac. That'll be fun to talk to him about like early boating on the Tuolumne and Cherry Creek in the late 60s and stuff like that. Yep. Are you ready to do your other weekly show next week? Or do you have questions to answer?
I have no questions to answer, and I'm at a conference, so I'd rather not.
Okay.
But we'll do the Friday show.
Yeah, thanks you all for turning in and leaving comments. We appreciate it. And those who would leave them after the show also appreciate your comments. We appreciate your comments as well. If you haven't slapped that like button, please do so. Zach's trying to get to 10 million viewers.
We have 9,000 subscribers.
That's amazing. 9,000.
9,000. We passed it last week.
If you turn on those notifications, particularly if you're part of Zach's special in group, who you're members, you'll get special notifications whenever we have one of those random members only shows that you can only see if you're a member. So if you're not a member, you can try to become a member so you can check those out. Don't get your hopes up. They're not that amazing. But anything else, Zach, that you wanted to add?
Just say Rescue Randy. I know 2:00 is an ideal for everybody. It works for Aaron and I really well. We've done 5:00 these past few weeks just because of travel schedules, but 2:00 just works for us. There's always gonna be recording. You can't like always make comments live, but
prime time, huh?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's 8:00 on the East Coast.
Yeah,
but
5:00 when people get home. We really want to do it during the middle of people's workday, so you get a little break because people.
Because we don't want to be
honest. You're working from home anyways. Just turn it on and be in front of your computer, and So, great, Zach. That was a fun show. Thanks.
Hey, I have something nice. I have a compliment for you this week. Do you want to know what it is?
Yes.